What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris
And Mal.
podcast, episode 61, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon. Whether you're at work, you're off
Mm-hmm.
today, you're working out, whatever you're doing, you're listening to us. We appreciate it. And like I said, I hope you're having a great day. We have a lot of stuff to get into. Plus, I got a big announcement. I ain't even told my partner yet about this announcement. I got a big announcement, y'all. So without further ado, let's get to it. And we are back. Cris Mal podcast, episode 61, Big Energy Monday. Ma, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. Just got back from visiting the parentals, man, in Texas, man. So shout out to them. Love them. Miss them already. So I'm in good spirits, man. Flying high, brother. How you doing? How was your weekend?
I'm good, man. How was your trip, man? How was it?
It was good, man. You know, seeing my dad, seeing my mom, seeing my sister, my aunt, my little cousin, my uncle, man. It was really good, man. Felt refreshing. Texas weather is really nice right now, so it was like 80 degrees. Felt like spring out there. Man, I'm feeling good, man. Feel revitalized. Minus, some hiccups on traveling delays. I'll get into that later, man. But overall, man, I'm in great spirits, brother. How about you, man? How was your weekend? Do anything? I know your day's just getting started off.
Yeah, it was cool. Unfortunately, my baby was sick. She's getting
Oh
better
man,
now, but she wasn't feeling good 2 weekends. This weekend. So
I'm sending my well
but
wishes to her, man. Hope she feels soon better soon.
it was our 1 year anniversary of being together. So shout out to her. You
Congratulations,
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we probably
congratulations, brother.
celebrate that real soon. So, but yeah. But other than that, it was cool, man. It was cool. Work
Cool,
work
cool,
was
cool.
work. It was cool.
Nah, yeah.
All right. Now, before we get into the topics, I said I had a big announcement, people. I haven't even
Mm-hmm.
told my co-host Maul here.
Mm-mm.
But we got a new affiliate, baby. We part of the Betters team, baby. What's happening?
Oh, there we go, baby. Yes, sir.
Part of
Man,
the
that's
Betters
what's up.
team, man. We got word back this morning. Got the links and everything. We'll put it up on all our social medias and stuff. But you can sign up with Betters. Put in the code 125 join or join 125, and you'll get 125% off your first bet, uh, your first deposit that you bet. You know what I'm saying? You'll get 125% towards that, and you get like 30 risk-free bets or something like that. So go
Okay.
ahead and check it out, man. We'll post it up real soon.
Man, shout out to Bettis, man. Yo, that's what's up, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man,
Mm-hmm.
announcement. Like, what's up, man? What's going on?
Yeah,
That's what's
man.
up, though, man. That's great news. I'm glad. I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's get into these topics, man. NFL free agency has kicked off. Well, the
Yeah.
tampering period has. Wednesday is the official day of free agency where the players can sign, but it's the legal tampering period where
Mm-hmm.
agents and teams can negotiate contracts, you know what I'm saying, and agree on to terms. We all know Saturday night, you know what I'm saying, before free agency kicked off, Chris Jones signed a big contract with my Chiefs. He's back. I'm happy about that. Um, Chief Kingdom was on pins and needles. They was on the edge of their seats. So, and he kept on them tweets wasn't helping out no better. But you know what I'm saying? He officially signed 5-year deal. 100 was it 158 or actually it's 158 base salary, 101 guaranteed. So got the bank.
Nah,
Shout out to
nah.
him. He got his money and it's well deserved, man. He's the highest paid defensive tackle right
Yeah.
now, and past 2 years he has been, I think, the best interior defensive lineman. So I think he deserves every penny that he got, and I'm glad he's going to retire cheap ultimately.
Nah,
So
nah. Honestly, I shelled out holding out hope that we could steal away Chris Jones from y'all. You know, that would have been a big minus to your guys' team. But I'm not surprised, man, that Chris Jones resigned to you guys. You know, he deserved the contract. You know, I've been said it that I really believe that he was really the true MVP of the whole playoffs for your team. He won a lot of games for you guys. I still have this theory though. I do have this one little theory. I don't know. You let me know what you think. You probably say I'm tripping, but I low key think like, yo, if the Chiefs didn't win the Super Bowl, I think Chris Jones may not be there. You know what I mean? I really do think that, just because in the sense of like, I just say it like this, you know, it's my conspiracy theories. It could not be true, but I just think in Limelight, you know, I think you guys do have some cap struggles, you know, a little bit. I know you guys can, you know, restructure some deals with, you know, Pat Mahomes, Tooney, and some other guys like that. Obviously, you know, you guys are still, you know, trying to figure out what you guys are going to do with Snead, whether you guys are going to extend him or trade him. So, you know, I know you guys have a lot of situations like that, but I just think in the sense of, I think, you know, you guys having the capabilities of winning the 3P, I think that helps. And then I think just his overall impact on that team and how important he was, because obviously you guys had that struggle beginning in the year with whether y'all were going to give him the contract. You know, he was holding out and stuff like that. I'm sure that left a little bit of sour taste in his mouth. So I'm saying in the sense of like, if the Chiefs season didn't go the way it went, like, you know, kind of how I thought it was going to go, the way you guys were playing. It looked like you guys were having an up and down year. Things that usually went your way didn't go your way. Receivers dropping the ball. You guys losing games you guys normally should have lost, normally win, but, you know, we're ended up losing. I think it might have been a different situation with the Chris Jones thing. I think with you guys winning, you know, showing his dominance, you know, he was, as I say, he was a key player in a lot of those games that helped solidify those wins, especially in the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl. I think that really helped them making like, yo, we have no choice but to sign this man, no matter what the number is. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I say that.
I'm not mad at that. I could possibly see that, especially if we was a one and done in the playoffs, or you know, we lost the second, lost that second round to the Buffalo Bills or something. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, things didn't end didn't end up the right way. You know, of course, not winning the Super Bowl or getting to Super Bowl. I could possibly see, them saying, okay, we're gonna part ways and go into a different direction. But I could also see a scenario where they're like, all right, Mahomes himself is like, hey, we still need Chris because we got to come back and avenge this bad taste in our mouth, man. Like, we can't end it like this. Even if we ain't good, even if we're not getting the 3P, like, we still like, come on, man. He's part of the core, and we need him to get back to where we need to get to. You know what I'm saying? So, especially us losing Snead. I think the Snead piece too, I think we're going to trade him. I think it's just too much smoke. I just think they're fielding the offers right now and trying to get the very, very, very best offer that they can get for Snead. But I think he's gone. There's no way you put it out there like, oh yeah, we franchise and tag and Snead, but he can go find somewhere else to go. Like usually it'd have been like, yeah, we're gonna negotiate, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna try to get an extension done with Snead, you know what I'm saying? And then when the deal falls through, then it's usually like, oh, we're gonna go ahead and let them seek a trade. Like they put that news out like right away. Like it was like you can go if you want to. So they made it clear that Chris Jones was priority number one. We're going to work on Chris Jones, getting him here, and then we'll tend to Snead. And I think now they're working on getting Snead done. So, but no, I'm just glad he's back. And speaking of defensive linemen, you know what I'm saying? I said it on this show a few times. We've talked about it off air that if we didn't sign Chris Jones, then I believe that we would have went after Christian Wilkins. Well, your Raiders got Christian Wilkins. He signed a 4-year, $110 million deal, $84.75 million guaranteed. How are you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling really great. I think if we couldn't get Chris Jones, Christian Wilkins was the next best thing to me. And you pair him up with Max Crosby, Kuntz, and Wilson. They switched his position, and he looked a lot better. Being on the inside more so on the outside. the way we thought he was gonna play, it looked more like, okay, I understand why he was at that height of a pick. That, you know what I mean? So we kind of seen that. So it's scary hours, boy. That's all I'm saying. That D line is looking really nice. I know we're gonna add more into that. Like, we still got to figure out what we're gonna do in the draft, like whether we're gonna move up or not. You know, obviously, if we don't, I think there's a high probability we might be able to get another D tackle or a cornerback. You know, a certain situation like that. Jalen Johnson, I'm sure we're gonna talk about that a little bit. Jalen Johnson re-signed with the Bears, so he's off the board. I really don't see us going after Snead. We got to figure out what that contract looking like. I don't see that. I don't see that possibility of the Chiefs even thinking about trading him to us. That's really a long shot. So that's really not happening. So there are still a couple more holes that we got to, figure out. There's another player that we'll talk about here soon that recently got away from us too. But I'm really excited overall as far as like where our defensive line is at. I think it's going to be, that pairing of between them four guys, man, it's gonna be really crazy. So hey, man, we're off to a really great start with the Raiders situation. I'm not mad at the contract either. I thought the contract was pretty reasonable for what it was. You knew you were gonna have to pay him just because, especially with Chris Jones off the board. His numbers were just with other teams competing. Like, his number was going to be high. So I'm really glad we were able to just get him off the board real quick. No bullshitting, it wasn't like, waiting in, the long hours of the day or going into tomorrow, because then more teams will be able to get involved. So I'm really happy that the Raiders, saw the guy that they went right after it. No bullshit, got the deal done. So now we can get him, he's on the team. So now we can move on to the next steps that we got to do. Obviously, the biggest thing we really need is a quarterback, but I don't think our answers are going to get really resolved this week. I think that's more of like a draft day thing, whether we trade or, we move up and draft one of the quarterbacks that we potentially could see being our future guy.
Yeah. No, I thought this was a good signing for you guys. Your defensive line is going to be nasty. We was talking about it in the spaces this morning. Talking about, we had a Chiefs space this morning, still going on right now. But just, looking at the different signings and stuff and talking about the Chris Jones deal. And when we saw Christian Wilkins, the consensus was, that was a good deal for y'all. And we believe that you guys, if y'all get a quarterback, you guys are going to be the biggest threat in the AFC West. The Broncos, they're in shambles right now. They in cap hell. They're probably going to be releasing some more guys. And Chargers, same difference. They talking about trading guys and,
Osa, Mac.
Mac, Keenan Allen, Williams. Like, it's not looking good. It's going to take a couple of years for Harbaugh to fix that situation over there.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Right now, if you guys get a solid quarterback, I ain't even say you got to go out there and get a Joe Burrow type or nothing like that. Just get a solid quarterback that don't turn the football over. You guys could be a viable threat in the AFC West, and if anything, definitely be a playoff contender. So
for sure.
So other deals that went down the pipe. Look, I know we do our flowers at the end of the year, but I want to give flowers to Kirk Cousins' agent, because he is a fucking genius. This man is just getting this dude paid, man. Like 4 years, 180 million guaranteed. Jesus.
Does that make the Falcons? Does that make the Falcons like pretty much the favorites in the AFC and NFC South?
Yeah, they are. They're right. Like Tampa Bay's like right here, so Atlanta's like probably like right here. But yeah, 50 million signing bonus. Like, Kirk Cousins' agent is just great, man. He's one of the best in the league right now. And he just continuously off of the ACL tear, he's getting Kirk Cousins paid. Like, hey, kudos to Atlanta. They knew they needed a quarterback. They knew they needed to go out there and get a quarterback. They knew that this offense was lacking. You got too many weapons with Bijan Robinson. You got Drake London. You got Kyle Pitts, who's masterfully underused. I don't know how you underuse a talent like that kid. And, I just think that they trying to go for it. You know what I'm saying? Raheem Morris is in the building now. And, they needed a veteran quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you you can get a rookie in there, but they probably needed a veteran quarterback in there so they can get some leadership in there. That's what they're lacking too. They need a guy who can lead. He's won games in this league. Say what you want about Kirk Cousins, but he's won games in this league, and he's one of the better quarterbacks. He's definitely a top 10 quarterback. So,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
you get your guy in there. Get a guy in there. Maybe you could spend a third or fourth round pick on a quarterback, maybe like a Jordan Travis or somebody like that. Let him sit behind Kirk Cousins for a year or two, and boom, you can have him play. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I think it was a good signing ultimately, man. In Atlanta, you guys should be happy with having Kirk Cousins as your quarterback.
I think it's a great signing. I agree with you. I think they really need to go the veteran route, just because this division is so up for grabs. Like Carolina, like it's going to take them years before they become even relevant. I don't trust Derek Carr and the Saints. Like I think there's some moves that they're going to make over there. Like I really believe that Alvin Kamara may not be there next year. They're getting rid of Michael Thomas. That defense is getting a little older as well, so they got to figure that out. So like I think this really could make the Falcons offense really top tier. Like I think they have a lot of talent that really wasn't used right. There was many games where Bijan wasn't getting touches or wasn't getting in the game. They had that whole weird episode where he didn't even get in the game. I don't know. I think that was maybe the Panther game or something. I don't know what week it was, but you had that whole weirdness. As you said, Kyle Pitts doesn't get used the right way. Drake London has all the capabilities of being a true number one. So, these, and especially in fantasy purposes, this team is going to be really, really, really sought after, for fantasy reasons as well too. So I'm really excited for Kirk Cousins to get to this team. I'm really excited to see what they can produce as an offense, the heights of this offense and what it can be. It could be really, really scary. But another big question for me is, what is Justin Jefferson's thoughts? Because right now he's in certain contract negotiations. I'm like, if I'm Justin Jefferson, would you or would you not put your hat in the bag as far as asking for a trade? Now, will the Vikings do that? Who knows? Like Justin Jefferson is going to command a lot of money, but right now he does not have a quarterback right now that is going to get him the ball and give him the numbers that he was getting with Kirk Cousins. Like you're telling me, you're hearing names like Sam Darnold and names like that. Like I'm if I'm Justin Jefferson, I'm good. Like put me in the same market with T. Higgins. If Justin Jefferson asks for a trade, bro, this whole shit gonna blow. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. You already got T. Higgins putting his name in the hat for he wants to be traded. Now you add Justin Jefferson to that. Yeah, my God, the teams that would try to go after that man. So I think that's the next big thing that could come from this Kirk Cousins signing. You know what I mean? Wondering where Justin Jefferson's mindset is. Now, if he wants the bag and Vikings are willing to give him the bag and he don't care who his quarterback is, God bless him. Get the bag. You deserve it. To me, you're the best wide receiver in the league. But if you still want to get the bag and get your numbers, you're going to have to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to figure that out where he wants to go in his next direction, because I think that your next bag could be affected by if you're going to stay there or if you're going to try to find you a new team,
Yeah, for sure, man. I don't know, man. Justin Jefferson, he's kind of in the driver's seat right now because he could basically demand the Vikings to break the bank for him. Like, you traded my quarterback away, you're probably going to get a rookie up in here. Yeah. I want all the money, and I want it all fully guaranteed.
Fully. I don't want no cent. I don't want to be fined by nothing. I don't care if I'm late. I don't care if I cuss out the referees, anything. I want fully guaranteed, and I want to be absolved from any fines if I'm going to stick with the Vikings with this quarterback situation. Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he asked for a trade, man.
If he does, though, what kind of who do you think would be involved in those trades? Could you see
him? That's a difficult one, man, because it would have to be a team that needs a wide receiver. Maybe the Giants.
I look like the Giants. I low key can see maybe the Texans maybe going all in. I maybe can see that. You know what I mean? Like, I know you got Tank Dell and I know you got them other guys, but no Nico disrespect Collins. To them guys. They ain't Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean? No disrespect. Right. I would love to have Tank Dell on my team and all that, but that's Justin Jefferson. Maybe if the Commanders wanted to get younger, get rid of McLaurin and all that type of stuff. Maybe if the maybe the Seahawks, stuff like that. Maybe, a surprise team, maybe like the Niners, if they want to get out of like a Debo, get out of a Brandon Ayuk and kind of go that route. I think there'll be plenty of suitors for that,
Oh, of course. You know what I'm saying? I can see Arizona going all in and going to get him. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
facts.
If they
Pair
don't,
up.
cut him with Kyler Murray and get him. I'm pretty sure Justin Jefferson went, and they could pay him. So it's like I'm sure they wouldn't mind. He wouldn't mind playing with Kyler Murray. He know he's gonna get him the football. So,
maybe
yeah,
the Jets,
yeah,
maybe the Jets, because they've been so
maybe.
strong on trying to find another receiver. A lot of them want Devontae Adams, but maybe you put in, maybe you try to get him to the Jets. I know you talked about the Giants, but maybe the Jets.
Well, I think the Jets don't have a first round pick to do it though. That's why I said the Giants. Though.
Well, they're gonna have to trade one of their key pieces to do that. So but
we'll see.
It's gonna be interesting.
Let's go to the running backs, man. Saquon Barkley. He signs with the division rival Eagles.
Yeah.
Signed a 3-year, $37.5 million deal.
Yeah.
Man, he's getting paid. Is worth up to 46.75 mil and 26 fully guaranteed. How you feel, man? He going to the Eagles, man. You know what I'm saying? Is he doing this to stick it to the Giants? You chose Daniel Jones over me.
Yeah. Like, obviously, I think for Saquon's purposes, like, he got the money that he wanted. And then on top of that, he's on a talented roster as far as offensively. So as long as Jalen Hurts can revert back to the way he was when they made that Super Bowl run, should be really well. I think that, that read option is going to be pretty dangerous. But obviously, you got the likes of AJ Brown. You saw AJ Brown when he wasn't getting the ball, how he was really reacting. You know what I mean? So I think it helps the offense, but at the same time, I'm still confused by it because I think the Eagles have a lot of holes. You got Fletcher Cox, who just announced his retirement. You know what I mean? You got Kelsey. He announced his retirement. So, maybe they're comfortable with the O-line that they have with the guys coming up in ranks. Obviously, the Eagles are kind of deep at the D-line position, but still, though, I think they got holes in their corner situation, linebacker situation, stuff like that. But overall, it really just comes down to Jalen Hurts. If he can revert back to his ways, being able to, be able to throw a ball deep, be a little bit more accurate, not turn over the ball a lot. I think Saquon does help. I don't think it's really a stick to the Giants, but because the Giants were never going to pay him that type of money. You know what I mean? No. But at the same time, it just seems a little weird for me with the Eagles. You know what I mean? I feel like they invest more in their D-line, O-line, but now they're investing a lot of the rest of their salary cap that they did have left into Saquon Barkley. So this is a make or break season for them, because if not, next year can be a whole different story, where if they want to start demolishing some pieces, seeing some key pieces get traded away or released, maybe players asking for trades. You know what I mean? I would not be surprised if you had another bad year if AJ Brown don't put his name in that. You know what I mean? So, I'm kind of indifferent about it. If I had to give it a grade, I'll give it like a B-. You know what I mean? High C+, B-.
Yeah. I mean, that running game definitely gonna be on point. So that's for sure. But yeah,
for sure, the explosiveness is there. Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely an upgrade. If you're gonna lose DeAndre Swift, I mean, Saquon is the good, antithesis to that.
100%,
You know what I'm saying?
100%,
He's definitely better. And speaking of DeAndre Swift, he signed with the Chicago Bears. I don't have the details of his deal, but I think he signed like a 3-4 year deal with them.
Yeah.
So good for Swift. I mean, Bears, they needed a running game or whatever quarterback direction that they go, because this whole Justin Fields thing is up in limbo right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a trade piece at the draft. Because right now things are just looking crazy. Like, his market is low. Nobody wants him. Like, it looks like, and I think it's more so that nobody wants to pay him. They want to just trade for him and then see what they got in him, and then maybe pay him.
Yeah.
Instead of trading for him, paying him some $1 million, $20-30 million, whatever, and got to be stuck with him if he's not, producing, like everybody thinks he could. So. I understand it, but I think somebody could make a deal for him probably at the draft, pull the trigger. Maybe they don't really too much care for the quarterbacks in this draft, which I think there's still some pretty good quarterbacks, but I could see them being like, what's your name's more of a sure thing. Let's just go and pull the trigger. Maybe your Raiders pull the trigger on the Justin Field. Maybe
Yeah,
somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Go get
yeah.
Justin Fields that needs a quarterback. So maybe the
Mm,
Giants go up and go get him. I don't know, but I could see a situation like that. So we'll see. We'll see.
hmm
Um, Tony Pollard, he went to where did he go?
He went to the Titans.
Titans. That's right. That's right.
Hmm
Tony Pollard to the Titans. I think he's going to be a 1-2 punch with the other running back that was there, the rookie from last year. I forgot
hmm
his name. Give me. I think he's going to be pretty good there. But those are the more significant signings. Yeah, those are one of the more significant signings right now.
What do you
I'm
think
sure
about the
more is
whole?
going to pop up.
What do you think about the whole Josh Jacobs thing?
No, I think that's a good signing. Josh Jacobs to the pack. I wasn't expecting it, but he's going to be a good running back for them. I was surprised with the Aaron Jones thing,
Yeah,
but Josh Jacobs is younger. He's younger than Aaron Jones, so I get it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Aaron Jones does have injury, even though Josh Jacobs has a little injury history too. But Aaron Jones has an injury history. But I mean, he played well down the stretch last year, so
hmm
it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. He got released, so it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Um, there's still some good running backs out there. Austin Eckler still out there. Devin
Yeah,
Singletary, a few other guys. Antonio Gibson, he just signed with what did he signed with? I just saw it.
cool.
Patriots. He just signed with the Patriots. Antonio Gibson. He signed with the Patriots.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Um,
I was surprised. I didn't hear that name. Combined with the Patriots. I was pretty surprised.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so he signed with the Patriots. So yeah, that's a good signing right there. I want to give a shout out to the 51 people on Twitter watching us right now, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to
yeah. Shout
y'all,
out to
man.
that, man.
Coming up in
Appreciate
here.
that.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting weeks, probably. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be more
Oh yeah,
deals to be down the pipe.
more
Oh,
trades.
Gabe Davis, he signed a 3-year deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, worth 30 something
That means
million
Calvin
dollars.
Ridley ain't gonna be back. That's for sure.
They according to them, they said they still working and trying to work to
Oh, they're
keep
still
him.
working on that.
Yeah, they say they still trying to keep him. So
And they
we'll
still got
see. I
Christian
don't
Kirk
know.
and all that too. They still
Mhm.
got Christian Kirk. They still got what's my man's name? He came from the
Zay
Raiders.
Jones ain't he
Zay
over there?
Jones and stuff. Yo, nah. Look, man, there's no excuses, man. If they're able to keep Calvin
Mhm.
Ridley, and you got Gabe Davis, and you still got Zay Jones and Christian Kirk and Travis Etienne.
Mhm.
Yo, Trevor Lawrence has no
Ingram.
more excuses. Doug Peterson has no more excuses, man. You got a
Yeah.
slew of weapons that you should be able to never. You should be able to score at least 27 points every single game. I don't care what
Yeah.
defense you're going up against.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. This is make it or break it. And you can tell they're spending money. So they
No,
must
yeah,
know. I think they still need to spend a little bit more money, excuse me, on that defensive side. But yeah.
100%. No, I think so too. I think
Yeah.
they lost a couple pieces off the cornerback situation. I think. So yeah, we'll see.
Mhm. And it's gonna be interesting, these wide receivers that come off the board, because it's kind of like quiet right now, other than Gabe Davis. No really, you haven't heard nothing about Hollywood Brown, Calvin Ridley, of course.
Still waiting
Uh,
on Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, Darnell Mooney's out there still. Like, there's some guys still out there that we'll see where
See, I
they
can
fall
see.
at.
I low key can see Darnell Mooney going to you guys. I can see that.
Yeah,
Me personally, I'm still waiting on that Derrick Henry to the Cowboys alert. I think
yeah.
that's only a matter of time, especially with them losing Tony Pollard. I think with the
Mhm.
Eagles making a splash with Saquon Barkley. Look, Jerry Jones said he was going to go all in. Where's it at? You know what I mean? If I'm a
Mhm.
Cowboys fan, I'm sitting here worried, like, all right, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's re-signing some of your players, you know what I mean, or getting some new pieces in there, like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, I know you had the whole thing where they're talking about trading Michael Gallup and stuff like that. I think that's really a small significance to what the Cowboys are really need to do to get better. So
Mhm. Yeah,
I'm waiting on some Cowboys news to see what's up.
we'll see, man. We'll see. All right, man. Let's switch topics, man. Let's go to women's college basketball. It was a big, huge game yesterday. LSU
Yeah.
versus South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and it was nip and tuck, man. These girls was going at it. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Angel Reese. What's the young lady's name? The big girl. was her name
I think her name's like
Cordova?
Cardoza or something like that.
Cardoza. They was going at it.
Mhm.
For Floana Johnson, she was going at it with the Melissa chick, like, and then big talk is the big scuffle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Melissa and Floana got into it. She pushed her. Then Cardoza comes over, bulldoze Floana over, and it was just a big melee. And Floana's brother jumps over the thing like a dumbass. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, what he was about to do, but it was a crazy situation. But it was nip and tuck. But the Tigers end up winning and pulling it out. I think they won like 76 to like 72 or something like that.
Mhm.
But the women's basketball, college basketball, is going to be the league. Now I know. I think Cardoza is going to miss the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, but they'll
the
be all right.
tournament.
They'll be all
They'll
right.
be fine. Yeah, they'll be fine. Whoever they face. But yeah. What was your thoughts, man, when you saw this brawl and all that?
Look, I know I know they all apologize for everything that went down on as far as like the skirmish and all that. But low key, me personally, I think it's good for the women's game. You know what I mean? I think it puts a lot more eyes on it. I think people love seeing stuff like this, just kind of like, the teams going back and forth, you know what I mean? Like, trash talking and all that. You had that with both of the players, the intensity in it, you know what I mean? You could kind of see it, kind of elevating since last year off the tournament, with the whole Caitlin Clark and LSU thing. There's a lot of rivalries going on, you know what I mean, that are starting to get created amongst the women's game, you know what I mean? So you got kind of like Caitlin Clark versus everybody, you know what I mean? You got Juju Watkins in there. I'm not sure if they won the game. I didn't get a chance to see because I was traveling. But and then also, obviously, you have, the LSU South Carolina rivalry. South Carolina is the only undefeated team amongst the men and women, so you have that going on. A lot of legacies in play, going into this tournament. You know what I mean? So it's going to be really exciting. I'm really excited. Obviously we have our own Lady Rebels. They're playing really, really great. I think they played today for their tournament. So it's going to be crazy here. I personally think it's really good. Obviously, you don't want to see people getting, fisticuffs. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. But, just with the intensity, I love it. Keep it coming. There's nothing to apologize about. Homie's brother, I think you realize you was the smallest man on the court when you start seeing them big ass women. You know what I mean? You jump off, you start realizing, maybe not. You know what I mean? Cardoza is not a small chick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, play lightly. But he got arrested. Hopefully, no big charges go up against him. I get it. He's trying to protect his sister. I get it. You know what I mean? I think he just kind of blacked out and didn't realize where he was at the time. He just saw his sister get pushed down. And you're going to be very protective. So I don't really you don't want to jump on the court, but I understand what he was trying to do. I think he was just trying to protect. I don't think he was going to swing on any of the girls. I don't think he's like that. But, hopefully no big charges come down. Hopefully he's able to, travel with the team and still be able to watch his, sister play. Hopefully they don't ban him or anything like that. I don't want to see that. But overall, I think it's good, man. As long as it's spiritual, as long as it's just competitive and stuff like that. Nobody trying to sucker punch nobody. Don't do no Duke stuff. Don't try to trip players. Don't try to elbow them in the face. We don't need that. Just keep the intensity up, man. I said I'm excited to watch the women's tournament. I think I'm excited to watch both, but the women's tournament is gonna be pretty fire, man. But Caitlin Clark, do not do that dumbass photo pose ever again in your life. Don't do the Kobe shit. Do your own shit, please.
You just don't like this girl. Man. You just don't like this girl.
Look, man. Look, I have my own thoughts about that girl, but she doing her thing. But man, don't do that corny shit.
She brought them back in the second half, man, and won the game yesterday.
Good for her. Good for her. Good for her. Who are they playing up? Nebraska? Who is it? Who are they playing? Nebraska?
I think so.
Nebraska, bro. They just kept shooting threes, and the old girl, they damn near airball like 20 threes in the second half. I'm like, they allowed them to get back in the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, do your own thing, man. Stop recreating these old poses and shit. Do your own shit, man. That's all I'm saying.
All right, man. It's gonna be an exciting tournament though, for sure. But,
no doubt.
More of the women. I don't know nobody on the men's side, but
I still want that Juju versus Caitlin Clark matchup. I need that.
You want that so bad. She
I
did break one of Caitlin Clark's records, so
I tell you, man, I need that. I think everybody wants to see that though. I really do.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the NBA, man.
Mhm.
Karl Anthony Towns. I know he tear ACL or something like that.
Like MCL or something. So I think he's gonna have kind of like the same surgery as Embiid. I think it's kind of like in the same aspect as that.
What's your thought, man? You the NBA correspondent, man. How does this affect the Timberwolves?
I think it affects them for if Karl Anthony Towns is able to come back in due time and gear up for the playoffs. I'm assuming they're talking about he might be able to start revving up and get ready for the first round of the playoffs. I think they'll be okay. Um, a lot of people really don't have them winning the NBA Finals, but with Anthony Edwards and that team, you really don't know. But overall, I think they should be okay. I don't really see them having too much of a fall off with that team. As far as
Mhm,
like seeding wise. But as long as
mhm.
Karl Anthony Towns could come back for the first round, I think they'll play out as everybody thinks they would. I think I could see them get into the second round, maybe be a surprise getting into the Western Conference Finals. I don't see that, but I can see them winning a round and then losing a close series. They're going to be a tough out regardless, but I don't see it being too much of a big impact as long as Karl Anthony Towns can come back and get ready for the playoffs.
Have you seen a dip in their play since he's been hurt?
Um, well, obviously, when you take that aspect out with Karl Anthony Towns being a stretch four, stretch five-ish, when Gobert's not on the court, it does really affect it because Karl Anthony Towns was having a really great year. Especially the nights where Anthony Edwards doesn't have it. You got Michael Conley, he's a little older, he's missed a couple games. Obviously, you're not going to get the same offensive explosion with Rudy Gobert. So it does affect them. Like obviously they played the Lakers last night. Lakers pretty much was able to blow the game open towards the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter game. But it does have an impact. I'm not saying Karl Anthony Towns not being there is not going to have an impact. They are going to lose games, some games that they are normally not going to lose if Karl Anthony Towns is there. But as I said, as long as they're able to get him back in the playoffs, I think you'll still see the same results that a lot of people assume that they're going to be. Getting in the second round, maybe surprise getting to the Western Conference Finals. No one sees them making the NBA Finals run. I don't, not this year. I really don't. But they can still surprise. But they need Karl Anthony Towns. They do need that. Like I think he was averaging close to like what 26, 25 points a game. So
Mhm.
you're gonna miss that. You're gonna miss that.
Okay. So Denver's. I can pencil. I can put Denver Nuggets pin in for the final.
Listen here, I'm a Lakers fan. All right, yeah. Go ahead and pencil Denver in. I'm not gonna go my whole Lakers spiel, dog. Look, I love my Lakers, bro, but I still don't trust Darvin Ham. Like, I think with the Lakers, I know this is not supposed to be a Lakers topic, but the Lakers can beat any team. They've proven they can. We've beaten the Celtics, we've beaten the Timberwolves, we've beaten the OKC Thunder, we've beaten the Clippers. The only team we really struggle with is the Denver Nuggets, and I feel like we're there. I feel like Jokic is he's just a man amongst boys, man. It's tough. I need AD to play a lot tougher against Jokic because I feel like AD, that's my guy. He hasn't really had a really great game against Jokic. That's the only team we can't beat. I think they beat us the last 8-9 times in a row. So that's the only team, but I think with the Lakers, we have a shot. We have a shot. I would still pencil Denver in. I think the sleeper team to go against the Denver Nuggets and possibly beat them is the OKC Thunder. Because if you look, I think they've struggled a little bit with the OKC Thunder. But I would still have Denver Nuggets as the number one overall. And both sides. I think out of the two teams that are favored to come out of each conference, I think I would trust Denver more so than the Boston Celtics. Me personally.
Mm. Okay. We'll see, man. We'll see. All right, man. Let's talk boxing.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Joshua pretty much handled his business. I said before the fight that he was going to take this man really serious. You saw it in his press conferences. There wasn't no jokes, no, he didn't feel like Anthony Joshua was going to take his foot off the gas, and he surely did. He came in that first round and put hands on Francis Ngannou and knocked him out. Shout out to Francis Ngannou, though. You know what I'm saying? He came in there, Much respect to him. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
still think he's one of the better MMA fighters in the world. We still want to see him and John Jones get down. But this is just the thing, man. What I be saying, man, like you just can't do boxing, man. You can't just step in the world of boxing and just be great. You just can't. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
Yeah, you got to put years. These dudes, most of these dudes, been boxing since they was 7. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So you got to
Yeah.
put that kind of time. You know what I'm saying? And even that, if you just take a little bit of time off, you could be lacking. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
get in that ring, you get knocked out. Now I get it. It's heavyweights. It's a puncher's chance. He did look good against Fury. I personally think Fury didn't take him as serious as he should have took him. Thought he was looking past him because he knew he had the what's your name fight on the horizon.
Yeah.
But still, but I also still think fights, styles make fights. You always hear that cliche, but it's true. Anthony Joshua is more agile, the more athletic guy. Fury's a big 6'9", dude. He's nimble. He could box, but
Right.
he's still a big dude. You know what I'm saying? He's an easier target than
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua. He showed his athleticism, man. Showed that he's one of the better fighters in this world. So, and he handled business, and I think he's got the winner of Fury and Usyk in his sights. So, what
Mm.
was your thoughts?
Look, I was kind of going for it. Nagano. I wanted to see how well Anthony Joshua's chin will fare up with a Nagano punch. But you're right. If Anthony Joshua took it serious as he did, there was no reason why he should lose this fight. He should win this fight 100%, 100 out of 100 times for real. So I think Anthony Joshua, he looks really good. You know what I mean? Like, he seems like he's very in control of a lot of these fights. He seems like he has built up his confidence after a couple of tough years with him losing a couple of fights. So I think it's kind of like we're all setting up for a Fury Joshua fight. I know you assume that Fury should win this Usyk fight. I'm kind of leaning towards that. I think Fury's going to win the Usyk fight. He looks like he's in great shape. So he looks like he's definitely motivated. I think that's a really big payday. I think that would be really good for the heavyweight division. I've had my personal problems with the heavyweight division with the way things are being handled. I do appreciate his excellency in the Middle East, doing what he's doing with a lot of these, making these big time fights. He has a rumor of him making the Crawford, what was it, Crawford versus who they got him fighting? Who they trying to get him to fight? Terrence Crawford?
Oh, Chris Eubanks.
Eubank Jr., right?
Yeah.
So he's trying to make that fight. I think that'll be a huge jump. I think that's, to me, Crawford trying to get used to being in that division and hopefully getting that Canelo fight. I think that's what's really going on. The only thing with these fights in the Middle East, I just think I'm just not in love with the atmosphere, man. These atmospheres seem dull. Doesn't seem like they're really engaged unless something really exciting happens. I get it, they do things a little bit different out there. But I wish some of the atmosphere out there can just get a little bit more exciting, man. Kind of like what you saw in the UFC 299 card. Like, you just saw the excitement, you heard the excitement from the crowd. You really don't get that. But I think Francis Ngannou should really, I know he's going to probably try to stick in the boxing, but I really believe he should try to repair that relationship with Dana White and get back in the UFC. I think Francis Ngannou is a star in the UFC. I think he could dominate the UFC heavyweight division. So I really would love to see him get back in there and try to repair that relationship with Dana White and possibly get a contract to do more fights there. I don't want to see him in PFL. I don't want to see that. UFC is the place for big time mixed martial arts fights. We all know this. So, but if he wants to keep going the boxing route, continue to do that, man. I'm sure there's a lot of other up and coming fighters he can get where he can get the more experience, and then maybe potentially in a year or two from now, he can get another big time fight with another heavyweight boxer, but with like the Joshua's or Furies. But I would love for him to just go back UFC though.
I know you're not gonna want to hear this, but if they do make him box again, you know who they gonna make him box, right?
Who?
Wilder.
I could see that because I'm not. Look, I like Wilder, but look, he hasn't really been really great in the last couple fights. He hasn't really looked amazing. I need my man to do a squat bench. I need him to do some leg curls, hamstring curls. I need him to do all that, like, because his body proportions just weirds me out. I don't understand it, how you so top heavy, bro. Like, we're in 2024. There's a whole bunch of YouTube videos he can watch and do something, sit up and sit downs on the couch, do something, bro. He needs to do some leg work, bro. I fuck with Wilder, but come on, man. We got to do something with that. We'll see, man. I wouldn't be really too excited about that at all. So, but I can see what you're talking about, though. I can see it happening.
I'm just saying, brother. All right, man. Let's go into a little bit of hip hop talk.
Yeah.
Nelly says the 2000 hip hop era was the toughest.
Mm-hmm.
Said that to be, at that time to be at the top, he had to go against the likes of Jay-Z and Eminem, and he had Ja Rule popping. Ludacris was outside, you know what I'm saying? Fabulous, there was a lot of guys in the 2000s. The Jeezy era had started. T.I. was outside, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of people outside, and not even to mention some of the West Coast acts that came out around that time.
No, for real.
Do you agree that Nelly, that the 2000s was the hardest era?
I could see it, though. Yeah, I can agree to that. Just trying to maintain relevance in those kind of years. Obviously, times are different now. With music, obviously you had the likes of 106 and Park. You had the whole music videos era at that time. Obviously, people really valued the music a lot more than what they do in today's time. So, but obviously, just the talent across the board was just way deeper. You named all the names. Then you had the likes of Kanye coming up at that time. You had Outkast booming. You know what I mean? You had other cats. Snoop Dogg was still relevant back in those days. You know what I mean? So I could definitely see it, especially be a guy from the Midwest. It's not really a predominant place where a lot of big time hip hop artists come out of. So for Nelly to be able to pop out and be one of the top hip hop artists of that time, when you had the likes of Jay-Z, when you had the likes of 50 Cent, Eminem, and you had the Jeezy T.I. era, you had the Outkast thing going on, you had Rick Ross popping off, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a lot of different artists at that time that was just coming from everywhere, you know what I mean? So and I think at that time ATL was just pretty much taking over at that time. I think that was just kind of like when Atlanta was just really taking over the hip hop game. So for a guy from the Midwest to be able to be at the top, being able to sell 10 million records and all that type of stuff like that, I think that says a lot. So he would know better than us, It's good to get insight from these guys and get their real opinion on where obviously where the hip hop era was back then to where it is today. So I totally respect Nelly's opinion about it, and I tend to agree for the most part.
Yeah, I agree too. It was definitely a difficult time as far as coming up in that time, and you being from the Midwest. Yeah, it was very difficult because you think about the Midwest, you think Bone Thugs and Harmony, maybe Twista, but even Twista wasn't like mainstream. Like, he would feature on mainstream artist stuff, but he wasn't eventually he became mainstream once he got that Kanye stamp. But even him, what I'm saying? But Nelly, what I'm saying? Even though I may not have been the biggest Nelly fan, but I understood what Nelly, what he was. You know what I'm saying? He was a walking #1 hit guy. He was all over the radio, doing, just making hits. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about dude, but he sold records. You know what I'm saying? And in that era, it was difficult because you got The Rock, ROC, David Rockefeller was pretty much taking over at that time. Jay-Z was the man. Yeah, you had Eminem, who, say what you want about Eminem. I know people 50-50 with Eminem, but Eminem was that thing at that time. He was in his prime at that time. Jay-Z was in his prime at that time. Like, those dudes were there. Ja Rule was in his prime at that time. So Ludacris, come on now, like Ludacris, man, like come on, man, like Ludacris was dropping hits left and right. You know what I'm saying? So Definitely. And like the whole Jeezy, BMF, trap music starting to get popular with him, T.I., Gucci Man, all them dudes is like bringing in the new era of hip hop with that sound, So
Mhm.
yeah, definitely, I'm saying I agree. That 2000 era was difficult. Yeah, Little Wayne. How can we forget Wayne?
Oh yeah,
Wayne
Wayne for
was
sure.
Wayne
Yeah,
was
you
popping
just
off.
like just listen to all those names, man, that are etched into
Yeah.
like just hip hop. A lot of those are hip hop royalty right there. You know what I mean? So it's definitely totally different, especially with today's name. Like obviously, we talked about how we think the state of hip hop is today. I think that's like the really well, just music today. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like the big topic now in the music industry is where is music gonna go? Like, especially hip hop and the female hip hop game. Where is it gonna go? Where is it gonna be in the next 5-10 years? You know what I mean? With AI becoming more prevalent into the music industry, you got a lot of, Spotify, Apple Music, a lot of that really changed the way the game is today, So um and then I just don't think you have those kind of elite artists like we did back in the day. You know what I mean? Like obviously the young crowd has theirs. We can tend to agree to disagree. Music is all opinionated at this point. It's all about what that music does to you personally. So obviously the music that's made today, it's made for more of the younger kids. Now, when we listen to it, it doesn't really sound as, polished to me. Me personally, I'm sure you feel the same way. It doesn't
Yeah.
really give you the same feels when you first heard a T.I. album, when you first heard the King album. You know what I mean? When you first heard that Stankonia album, you know what I mean? When you first heard that, when you heard the first Ludacris album, and Rick Ross, Port of Miami, and the Jay-Z albums, when you heard Blueprint, and the Nas stuff that came out that at that time, the Eminem projects that came out at that time. Get Rich or Die Trying was like fucking a cult. Like that shit was played from West Coast to East Coast, man. People like when Wangster was the shit. You know what I
That
mean?
whole
Like
album was on the
the whole
radio. The
album
whole
was
album
just
was
from
on
front
the
to
radio,
back,
damn
man.
it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like people like that's all they listened to. That's all when we were on our basketball trips, that's all we listened to in the bus was 50
All
at
right.
that time. You know what I mean? So um obviously there are certain people that make music today that still,
Busta
give
Rhymes. I
me
forgot about Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes and all that. You know what I mean? Like even the one hit wonders, man. You know what I mean? Even some of those one hit wonder people like, like not to get disrespectful, but like obviously you had like the Cassidy's of the days. He had like that one really good album. Jadakiss was really popping still back, and obviously he's not a one hit wonder, but you know what I mean.
The
Like
Locks. You know what
the
I'm
Locks
saying?
and all them, man. Like we can just go on and on and on of just the music that was made back in the day that just left the imprint and kind of like
Redman and Method Man was
yeah,
out.
that
They
just
was
kind of like
popping.
you
Cash
still
Money.
hear a lot of that sound in today's music. You still hear a lot of those people use a lot of them beats to twist it up, but you know what I mean? So obviously, like Nelly is correct. Like that era in the 2000s, 2005, 2010 era, like when you started getting the Drakes and the Kendricks and the J. Cole's, like I think that's a really big uh moment in hip hop as well. So like we could talk about that era too. When you started getting the Drakes, when you started getting the Kendrick, when you started getting the ASAP Rockies, even in R&B, you started getting the Frank Oceans and Tory Lanez and stuff like that. Like those guys really were music. Now we're missing a lot of that now. Obviously, we got music now. Like I said, there's certain music that has coming out recently that I really truly enjoyed, like the 21 Savage album. I'm still really enjoying the Schoolboy Q album. We're gonna get a J. Cole album and stuff like that. I really appreciate the Jeezy album that came out. I appreciated that one. Some of the Nas stuff that came out last year was really cool. You had the Killer Mike album that really came out. So there's still projects that come out, just not as much as we used to get back in the day. You know what I mean? It's just not the volume that we used to get back in the day. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, man. Let's go to the world of USC, brother.
yeah.
Give us the recap, man. What happened at UFC 299, man?
So overall, I thought the card was really good, really exciting. You really kind of got a lot of you didn't get to see too many crazy knockouts, but I think you got really good long drawn out fights, man. You kind of just saw the battle within the battle. But start off, Peter Yan won by decision against Song Yadong. You know what I mean? I thought Song really started off pretty strong in the first round, but Peter Yan, he pretty much dominated the second and third round to solidify that win. So it looked like he's coming back strong. Gilbert Burns and Jack Della, it looked like Gilbert Burns started off strong. It's another fight where he looked like he started off strong, but Jack Della was able to come back and win in KO win fashion with a knee. Michael Page made his big debut with UFC 299. He won a decision over Kevin Holland. Michael Page is a desired taste. Either you love what he does with all his antics or you don't. But he does do some exciting things. I would have loved to see more from Michael Page, but obviously, I'm sure we'll see a little bit more of that. My guy, Dustin Poirier, looked amazing in his fight. Knocked out Benoit Saint Denis. So he pretty much solidified to me his purpose in trying to make it into the Hall of Fame. I think he will get another chance to get a chance at the title. So I'm really proud of Dustin Poirier for that win. And then the Sean O'Malley Marlon Vera fight, that was a really, really, really good fight. It went all the way to the fifth round. Sean O'Malley won by decision in convincing fashion. So obviously he called out Topuria. So I think that'll be one of the best stand-up fights in UFC. I think that'll be a top-tier stand-up fight with those two. Obviously, we would love to see that. He wants to go out to Spain. I think that'll be the next big card, depending on what they want to do with that situation. If that fight were to happen, that won't be until probably like September, August, somewhere towards the end of the year. So overall, UFC 299, hand clap to Dana White, man. Amazing card, man. I think I watched it with my pops on Saturday, man. He doesn't really watch UFC too much, but he really enjoyed watching those fights as well. So great fight, great card.
Any upcoming cards coming up?
Obviously you have the big UFC 300. I think that's like April 12th or 14th or something like that. So you have Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. That's the big card. There's a lot of really good cards. Some people were disappointed by that main event. But it should still be a really good fight. Alex Pereira has even mentioned maybe even doing a quick turnaround if this fight goes well to fight in the Brazil UFC pay-per-view card, which I think is only like 3 weeks after this card. So I think that's a long shot, but he really wants to be part of that. Guys, I think he was originally supposed to be on that card, but with everything that was going on and trying to make the main event for the UFC 300, which was a big deal for a lot of people, they ended up, having to, scrap a lot of those main events that they potentially was going to have. And I think they ended up getting this. So I think they had to take that main event away from Brazil and put it on this card. So, but if Alex Pereira can have his way, he'll finish off Jamal Hill pretty fast and then still be able to do that main event in Brazil 3 weeks later. So we shall see.
All righty, man. All right, man. Vegas NIL tournament.
Yeah.
Now, this tournament was announced. It's slated to be held in Las Vegas in November. Will offer up to $2 million in NIL deals to the players that participate. The tournament is expected to host 8 teams in 2024 and expand to 16 in 2025. What are your thoughts on this news, man?
I'm not surprised, man. It's kind of like their version of NBA's in-season tournament. Obviously, with NIL deals becoming more prevalent in the NCAA, should just give more incentive for players to play in tournaments like this. I could see this being like maybe like a Thanksgiving or a holiday tournament, especially in Vegas. Where players are able to, make some extra cash, especially with players that are on the bottom tier of the rosters where they normally wouldn't get those NIL deals. They could play something for them, kind of like what the way NBA players do for players that don't get the big time contracts on, like rookies and stuff like that. Players are on like, two-way stuff like that. So I think it's cool. Like, I'm not surprised by it. I'm not surprised it's in Vegas. I know there's certain teams that they try to contact, like Bama. They try to contact Bama, Duke, FAU, Houston, Kansas, Oregon, San Diego State, St. Joe, Syracuse, and Virginia. I'm sure there are going to be more teams that are contacted for this tournament. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually, like, the big NCAA AA tournament doesn't have something where players end up, getting some winnings off of winning the NCAA tournament or something like that. So this can just be a future of many tournaments like this in the future.
Do you think they're doing this to try to keep kids around a little bit longer?
I think NIL deals will keep players in a little bit longer. Obviously, if you're not obviously if you're the likes of being a lottery pick and you're going to be a lottery pick or a first round, you're going to go. Like nothing's really going to stop you from switching in. But I think you'll see a lot more 3-year, 4-year players going into the draft because of stuff like this. It could be a benefit. Obviously, there are some negatives to it in the sense of I know a lot of coaches are in fear of it, just kind of like the inconsistencies of, players being able to move to different teams, being scared of not having the power they initially had, because now you're getting certain players getting paid millions of dollars to be a part of these teams or to transfer to these teams. So, there's always a positive to a negative with any situation. But overall, I think it could be a really good thing. It's good to see these young athletes being able to get money for their name, image, and likeness, for the stuff that they contribute to these universities that already make an exorbitant amount of money from boosters and television contracts and stuff like that. So I think players have the right to make this type of money. It's too much money out there for them not to make it in the sports world. So congratulations to anybody who does make it. You know what I mean? I wish I was raised in this era. You know what I mean? I would definitely be a part of something like this. I would be excited, especially, being able to having a chance to make a couple $100,000 and, give it to your parents, maybe even help pay for, if you're not a full ride scholarship player, help pay for your tuition and stuff like that, help your parents pay off some bills. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these players play for that. You know what I mean? A lot of these players want to be able to make it into the league so they can get their family out of situations. This will just help them get out of the situations even sooner. You know what I mean? And at the same time, give Reggie Bush his Heisman Trophy back. Let's start doing that. Let's start giving these players who did accept money and stuff like that. Let's put them back in the books. Let's put them back on the record books. All that stuff like that. I think any situation where, like, you look at Jim Harbaugh's situation where he got in trouble for giving a student a free lunch or something like that. Stuff like that needs to not exist. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, that's not an advantage of anything with school related. Now, if we're talking about stealing plays and stuff like that, that's a whole different scenario. But, anything about, players receiving money, as long as it's not in a way where it's like a gambling situation, where, it's, stuff like that. Okay, cool. But if it's just like, we want you on this team, we want to give you $1 million to be a part of this team, so what? Who cares? We're in that era. People need to get used to it. Coaches need to get used to it. People need to stop taking offense to it. Let these players eat, because if that was your kid, you'll be more than happy for him to get that $500,000 check because it's gonna go right into your pocket as well. So let's not be hypocrites.
Yeah, man. As much money as these kids can get, and like you said, the lower tier athletes that probably won't make it to the league or play basketball after college, probably have to go into the work for your field or whatever degree they get. Definitely let them get as much money as they can get, because if they're not on the full ride scholarship and they got to pay tuition, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is going to help them and the parents out a whole bunch. So yeah, this tournament is good for, those guys like that. And I do think that, guys who are not lottery picks will stick around a little bit longer, you know what I'm saying, with these tournaments. So like you said, they'll probably end up being in the major March Madness tournament where they maybe up the purse a little bit more. Maybe get up to like 3 to 4 million, maybe 5. I don't know. But yeah, I can see this being a good thing for college basketball for sure.
No doubt, yeah.
I had to put this in because I forgot to put it in the thing. But Zack Snyder and his Batman hate.
I don't. What happened with this? I'm not really familiar with this.
It's not really Batman hate, but Zack Snyder said DC is making Batman irrelevant because they won't let him kill. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
I don't know where the relevance is, though. I don't agree with that. I don't get the irrelevance, though. Like, I think Batman has always been that type of person within the comic books or movies. So obviously I believe that the Batman series is a darker series. Like there are killings in that, but Batman has always been known for that. So I don't understand why that would hinder Batman. Batman is one of the most popular superhero characters in the world, next to Superman and Spider-Man. So I don't understand that. Now, if you want to go that route, like I wouldn't be mad at a situation where they wanted to flip the Batman ideals into something like, where they reverted to when he was in his younger days and he didn't care. Like he just wanted revenge. Like I would love to see something like that. I won't be mad to see a variation of that. I don't think anybody would be mad to see a variation of that. Just the world that Batman is in. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a dark world. Like I could see a situation like that where he was just this murderous, rebellious teen who wanted to save Gotham City, who wanted Gotham City to be better after the plight of his family being killed by a murder, you know what I'm saying? And then him just going on this kind of like rampage. I'm killing anybody who stands on my way to get that vengeance and to, to make this city a better place. I would love to see something like that. If he wants to make something like that, then he should do it. But I don't see
pretty much did with Ben Affleck. He was killing people in Batman vs Superman.
There you go. You know what I mean? So I think it could have been in the like obviously like the Snyder Cut was a really, better version, obviously, with that whole movie. I would love to see Zack Snyder get another chance with Batman. You know what I mean? I wasn't the biggest Ben Affleck fan. I know certain people love Ben Affleck doing it. It was a lot better than I expected. It was a lot better than what I expected. When I first heard Ben Affleck being part of Batman,
he has one of the best Batman fight scenes ever.
He do. I'm not saying he does. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying the initial reaction when Ben Affleck was announced to be Batman, I think the consensus was like, oh, nah. You know what I mean? Like we seen the Daredevil stuff, man. Like, come on, man. Like, no one was really excited about it. I'm not saying it was, but no one was excited about it, dog. So he did a lot better. Ben Affleck had low expectations coming out the gate. I think that helped him a lot with his performance. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm really a big fan of the Robert Pattinson Batman. I love that Batman. I could potentially see him being the best one, depending on how the story goes. I love it already in its dark zone, where it's at right now. That's just me.
Shout out to the Oscars for touching my childhood with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Keaton in the crowd. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It brought me back in my childhood, man. That's my Batman right there, y'all. Michael Keaton.
No, I like that Batman. I like that Batman a lot. It's a lot better than that kapow Batman stuff. Like I was not a fan of that stuff. I was not. And I don't know.
Shout out to Adam West, man. Rest in peace, Adam West, man. Don't do that.
No. Look. I get it. But I was never a fan of that kapow, goofy Batman stuff. I was never a fan.
I used to watch that as a kid too when it was in syndication. I used to watch it too. Funny story is that Batmobile used to be in the back of the Imperial Palace. My dad used to work there, and I used to see that car all the time.
The original. Oh, that's dope. That's fine.
Yeah, the old school Batmobile from the Boom Power one. Yeah, it used to be in the back of it. Used to be parked in the back of Imperial Palace.
Oh, that's what's up. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So
I wonder what they did.
But yeah, man, I don't know. It used like literally like I used to get excited. You know, I was 5, 6.
No, for sure. Yeah,
I was a kid. Sure, yeah. So we picking my dad up from work. I used to get excited just to see the car. The Batmobile, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy.
That's what's up.
But I think that's what makes Batman unique in a dark world where all these killers and crazy madmen. He has the patience not to kill. Because he don't want to stoop to their level, the Joker, and because he knows he can go there, and I think he would do some sadistic shit. That's why I think Batman is like, I can't go there because I'm already fucked up in the head. My parents died. I was done after that. You know what I'm saying? I'm already screwed up, and now I'm facing these madmen every day: Joker, Two-Face, Penguin, Clayface. Like I'm facing some crazy mugs out here, and I ain't got no superpowers. I got to use my brain out here. You know what I'm saying? These contraptions that I come up with. So
I get it. I just think in the sense of like when you have to go up against the likes of a Joker, he can turn you into that crazy like I gotta do what I gotta do. You know what I mean? Especially when when you see some of the stories, where he killed Robin. You know what I mean? Like all those situations. Like look, like I would totally understand if Batman just was like, "Yo, fuck it, I'm killing everybody. I want this vengeance until I get my vengeance." You know what I mean? Like I've tried the good route. I've tried the not killing, and yet the people still around me still get either hurt or killed. Like I need to change my ways. I could see that. And I would love to just see a depiction of that in a dark way. Like I said, I've always been a more fan of the darker versions of comic books. You know what I mean? I've never. Yeah. It's not like I don't appreciate the other versions, the lighthearted versions. It's not like I don't appreciate those. I just love to see the reverse effect of what superheroes could be. You know what I mean? Like superheroes is always not a glamour type thing. Like there's dark aspects in every aspect of the world, even in superheroes. You know what I mean? Like I just would love to see it. Like that movie that was like the dark version of Superman. You know what I mean? What was that movie? Brightburn. You know what I mean? Like certain people loved it, certain people. I enjoyed it just seeing the different aspects of what the dark version of that whole story could be. You know what I mean? I was hoping to get a Brightburn too, but never got it. So I'm actually surprised.
Your boy got paid, man. Woo.
Who?
Josh Jacobs.
What's the final numbers? What do you get?
4 years, 48 mil.
48 million? Oh yeah, there's no. Yeah, he had to go. He had to go. I ain't even mad at you, Josh. Get your bread, bro. Like I ain't even mad at you, bro. If you see this, man, I'm a diehard Raider fan. It's sad to see you go, brother. But you knew damn well the Raiders were never going to pay you that. If the Packers want to pay you that, God bless you. Get your bread. Come back and visit us in the summertime, bro. It's always mad love out here in Vegas for you, bro. Raider fans will always appreciate you. So I'm not mad at that, bro. I'm not mad. Good for him. Good for him. Yeah, that's crazy. Sure. I saw that. Austin Eckler, the Commanders and Raiders are in preliminary talks with Austin Eckler right now. So see how that goes.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, man. What are your flowers of the week?
Flowers of the week. I'm gonna go with Akira Toriyama. He was the creator for Dragon Ball Z. Sad. I grew up with Dragon Ball Z. I used to come home, watch that. You know what I mean? Toonami Fridays, Toonami during the week. You watching the whole Cell series, watching the whole Frieza series, the original Dragon Ball Z GT. Big part of my childhood, man. Dragon Ball Z is probably one of the most, no matter how you feel about different animes, man, I think that's the number one anime, and I don't think it's close just as far as impact and the way it affected other animes, the way it affected people, just the general excitement of Dragon Ball Z, and you see the excitement of new Dragon Ball Z movies and stuff like that. I know he was working on a lot of new Dragon Ball Z material. Hopefully that still is able to get materialized. Hopefully he had a right hand that was right by him doing the same thing. We would love to see his work continue, and definitely cherish all the work that he did. So I want to say rest in peace to Akira. I want to say thoughts and prayers to his family, thoughts and prayers to all the fans out there. I'm one of them. Sad days in the anime community. Sad days for people who watched this show and grew up. Akira, touched so many lives, man. And I just want to say I appreciate everything that you did, man. You made our weeks and our weekends a lot better, man, coming home from school and stuff like that, man. So hopefully you are resting in peace. Hopefully you're doing well upstairs, man. Say hi to my grandmother for me, man, and prayers up to you, my brother, man. Hope you're doing well.
Right on. Same thing with me, Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace, man. I'm with Maul on this. I used to come home and watch Dragon Ball, like I said, the Freezer series, Cell games. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z was probably mostly everybody's in the US side, introduction to anime. Before it was cool to call it anime, you know what I'm saying? There was everybody's introduction to anime. I mean, you could talk about Speed Racer and all those cartoons too, but Dragon Ball Z was the one that had you locked in and coming home every Friday, like, man, because back then series weren't an hour long where you get a whole, or you couldn't binge watch a series. Like, it was week to week. And
Yep.
they made sure they kept you on the edge of that seat. You know what I'm saying? Every episode was, you hear that man's voice. Will Goku be able to? He's like, man, it's not on.
Come on, don't do this to me, man. Nah, facts. I hated that guy with a passion.
Will be able to prevail. Like, you heard that voice, it was over.
I think he might have been the most hated guy ever, dog, was that voice. Come on, man.
You gotta wait till the next Friday, man.
I know,
you
right?
watch it,
I know.
That is hell. Like, damn. They'd be on the cliffhanger too. Goku all beat up, Vegeta beat up,
shot dead and stuff. Man, you don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's happening. So, yeah, that was back when the kids that are watching. That was back when TV had you on the edge of the seat. You couldn't just binge watch like you can now.
Could not.
No, but rest in peace to him, man. He is definitely Mount Rushmore of anime creators. And he inspired not only people, the fans, but he inspired other people who make anime. I believe he inspired the guy who made Naruto, inspired One Piece. All those people who made these cartoons out there coming up. So, or animators coming up. So shout out to him, man. He's definitely a legend and icon.
Oh wow, he just signed Gardner Minshew to 2 years.
You did?
Yeah, we just signed Gardner Minshew to a 2-year deal.
Oh, that's your quarterback,
yeah. Man, that's crazy.
That's our quarterback.
Hopefully we can still draft one.
Let's clap it up for Kira. All right, who's your hell no?
So my hell now goes to these airline companies. Bruh. It's been a year, some change, maybe 2 years, 3 years. It's been a while since COVID, man. I do not understand the life of me why we are still having issues with delays, cancellations. Like, we should not be having these issues, especially the amount of money these tickets are costing. If I book a ticket a certain way, I expect it to not stay the same way. You know what I mean? If I expect to get home at a certain time, if it's not a catastrophe, or if it's not 2012 weather conditions, get me home at 7 o'clock. We should not have these issues with these delays. And I get it. It's spring break weekend, but my God, my flight should not get delayed. When I expect to get home by 6:37, I should not then get a fucking delay saying my flight, I'm not getting home till almost the next day at 1 a.m. That is just crazy. When you could have just easily flipped my flight onto another flight that was leaving earlier to Vegas. Like, luckily, shout out to all the Southwest ticket agents. Those people were nice in San Antonio. The lady in El Paso, I know you were doing a lot at that time, trying to, do some stuff. I appreciate you for getting me on, making sure I got on that flight. So this has nothing to do with the Southwest ticket agents. This has to do everything with the airline corporation. Get this fixed so your ticket agents don't have to get the wrath that they get on a day-to-day basis when they're trying to do the jobs the best that they can. Like, y'all need to fix this. There's enough planes out there to the point where we should be able to get to our destinations with no delays unless there is really, really major weather conditions. You know what I mean? Like a tsunami, a tornado, a hurricane, something. If not, if it's just a windy day or a rainy day, it's 2024. Technology's too damn good for y'all motherfuckers not be able to land this plane safely and to get me to my destination correctly. So, again, not the ticket agents. They were really lovely ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all for all y'all help. Has nothing to do with y'all. Airline companies, get y'all stuff together, man. For real.
My hell no goes to these damn construction on these roads that we have, man. I'm tired of this.
Amen.
I need to fix these roads up, man. I'm tired of driving on these road potholes and the streets don't match each other. You're driving on one side, and the street changes all rugged and shaking and stuff, and then you get on the road. Like, come on, man, y'all got to fix this stuff, man. Construction work for 3 months on one part of the street. Like, what are y'all doing, man?
Yeah,
get this fixed, man. I don't know if y'all got to pay these construction workers more money or whatever, but y'all need to get on it, man, and stop doing these do-overs. Like, fix the road, man.
Nah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Traffic, one lane, down to one lane, making brothers late for work.
That's crazy, dog. They've been working on the same street for like 4 years. I'm like, bruh, y'all put the cones on, then you take them off, and I look at the street, it looked the same. You got the same pothole, the lines are still crooked, and then 3 weeks later, you put the same orange cones. I'm like, what are we doing? Y'all doing the light? Y'all fixing the road three blocks from here. Why this got to be down one lane? You know what I mean? So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, get it together, people. Get it together.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
All right, man. Let's give a shout out to Glitch Energy Drink, man.
Glitch Energy Drink, man. They've been rocking with us for a while. Glitch Energy Drink offers a wide range of delicious flavors to suit everyone's taste preferences, whether you're into fruity flavors like Maui Punch and Cherry Bomb, Blue Smurf, or grenades. There's something for everyone. Glitch Energy Drink is not only great for gamers and workout warriors, but also for everyday people who simply need a boost of energy. It's a healthy choice that you can feel good about. You can find more information and purchase Glitch Energy Drink at glitchenergy.com. Again, that's glitchenergy.com. Remember to use the promo code Cris Mal to get 10% off your purchase and to start enjoying these great, delicious, energizing drinks, man. So shout out to Glitch, man. They've been rocking with us for a minute. Make sure you use the promo code. Get that 10% off, man. Save that money.
For sure. All right, whatever streaming platform that you use to listen to Cris Mal, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever streaming platform you use, the Cris Mal podcast is available. Also, if you're a first-time watcher on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. So when we go live every Monday, usually at 12 p.m., and Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. You could jump in the live with us. Shout out to the 62 people that are watching us right now on Twitter. Shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all, man. So, but we would also love it if you guys would jump over to our YouTube page and hit that subscribe button so you can subscribe to us. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to all y'all. And whatever social media platform that you use, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, whatever you use to do your social media stuff on, Cris Mal podcast on there. Just follow us at Cris and Mal, and we'll follow you back. Give us critiques, give us feedback, give us topics, give us questions. If you give us a question or a topic for the show, and we like it, we will bring it up on the show. We will shout you out on the show for participating on the show and giving us a topic that we really like. We want y'all to interact with us. We want you guys. We're just regular people who like to, tap into sports and music and other things of that nature, life stuff. So go ahead, hit us up, man, for sure, man. And we definitely will not take it lightly that you guys sending us questions or topics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to y'all. All right, people, hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day. And all my NFL people, enjoy free agency. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And hope you have a good rest of y'all week. Until Wednesday night, we out.
Peace.